Hey, Gemini, Intuitive Soul Coach here. Excited to bring in your January 2026 career and money reading. Welcome back if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. I'm Mel, an intuitive reader, and I'm super excited you found me today. So let's open up your energy field and take a peek at the key themes that are playing out for you over the next 4 to 6 weeks. You have leadership at the bottom of the deck. Gemini, this is huge. You are stepping into a role as a leader. You are ready. This tells me that you're crashing through the glass ceiling, and anything that has been put on pause, hold, or delay, or if you have found yourself procrastinating or putting off something regarding your career or your finances, I feel like you're moving forward here in the coming weeks. I am being shown the Emperor, so it feels like you are getting organized and you are getting back to a space where you feel like you're on top of the world. Now, your career will improve once you accept and step into your power, or even reclaim your power, because the only person that can give our power away is ourselves. And you may have felt like there was an experience or even a person or an energy around you that was draining you. And I see that you are getting back to a space where energetic boundaries are created or strengthened, and you're standing strong within your own integrity. And you may even be taking a look at your values and your morals and making sure your actions are backing up those morals and values. So leadership coming in tells me that you could be stepping into a managerial position, supervisor role, or you could even be a business owner or a boss, and you may be talking to a professional. Some of you are speaking to a financial accountant or a broker. This could even be a lawyer, where this professional may have wisdom or experience that you lack, but by working together in partnership, I have a feeling you can make things happen. So we have take off coming through. Things will take off much sooner than you expected. Gemini, now is a good time to take action. There is no stopping you. Yes, that's what I'm getting here, is this energy of momentum building. So even though I'm being shown the Emperor, you could be shifting gears, changing direction, relocating, or finally moving forward on that project or bringing that idea of yours to life. I see a lot of momentum building. So the Chariot energy, you may even be broadcasting yourself in some way, putting yourself out into the world because you have the face showing up. And when the face shows up, this has to do with your reputation. It has to do with exposure and putting yourself out there. Maybe this is updating your LinkedIn profile or your resume, or if you have a website or a social media platform, some of you could be tweaking or adjusting or just fine tuning and making sure that there's this fresh new energy and you're bringing something to life. I feel like something is being born. So maybe there's a bit of Empress energy here around you, where you may even be in the spotlight, because it does say fame on this card. You could be a public speaker or a social media influencer. You may even have a book or a course, or this could be an online presence in some way where you really take off, Gemini, or your goods or your services spread through word of mouth like wildfire. And I see that you are stepping into something that feels quite pivotal, but it also feels life changing. Now, the teacher card here tells me that you have the ability to motivate others to strive to uncover their true potential. So many of you are teachers, coaches, mentors, or as I mentioned, you may be a motivational speaker, or you are being asked to speak up. Speak up, tell the universe what it is that you want. Speak up to your boss, let them know that you are wanting a promotion or to level up in your business. Put yourself out there in some way. The throat chakra is activating for you, and the throat chakra has to do with expression and communication. So I do feel like there is an important conversation or activation occurring within the next 4 to 6 weeks, and possibly some important news coming in. So expect a phone call, expect an email, or even a letter to show up in the mail that bears favorable results or news. You have learned much about money, Gemini, in this lifetime. This is the time to put it into practice. So you may even be learning about stocks or crypto, real estate. This could be you looking at your bank accounts, maybe researching different financial institutions, because you may be wanting to consolidate debt or pay off your mortgage, or if you have loans. I see that you're working smarter, and you're also doing your research or doing your due diligence when it comes to, I just heard making millions. So some of you are moving into millionaire status, or maybe you have a millionaire mindset. So I like that energy for you. If you are wanting to step into this big abundant energy, you having that millionaire mindset is really going to pay off. And actually, I was just listening to a podcast this morning. I forget who was being interviewed, but one of the questions that he had started to ask himself is, if I were to get paid $1 million to do this job, how would I perform? And I think at that time, I think it was an NFL star who ended up leaving the NFL and went into acting. And he was a janitor at that time. And he had asked himself that question and said, if I was going to get paid $1 million to do this, how would I clean this floor? And so some of you may be asking yourself that same question of, what would a millionaire think of? Or how can I shift my perspective? Maybe it's not millionaire. Some of you are like, Mel, I don't care if I'm a millionaire or not. I just want to have my needs met. I just want to have a roof over my head or enjoy the luxuries. Whatever your mindset is, I see you have the ability to take an idea that you have to decide, execute, and succeed. So decide, execute, succeed. So let's look here, Gemini, what's going on for you? The King of Swords, bottom of the deck. There you are, air energy. You are someone who is quite brilliant. You are a storyteller. Many of you are highly intuitive, but you also have the advantage of using that brilliant mind to concoct ideas. And I see that some of you may have $1 million idea that you are about to bring to life, or it is something that you are leaning into because maybe you do want to retire not having to worry about finances, or you want to move your family across the world, or maybe you want to help your family out in some way, your parents or your children. I see here that you are someone who is well respected, Gemini. You are someone who is able to not only see an idea through, but you can stay consistent with this plan of yours, and you can bring this home, is what I'm getting. Bring this home by bringing it to the finish line. Now you have the Queen of Pentacles showing up here. The Queen of Pentacles focuses on her stability, her longevity. This has to do with you creating or painting a picture as she's doing. She's using her paintbrush, and she has this big, beautiful coin, the mother of all coins here. So this is something that is going to set you up long term. You have this plan that you are following through in the coming weeks. And I see through dedication, hard work, effort, but also that business mindset or $1 million mindset, you have the ability to inspire and teach and be a good role model for those around you, for your coworkers, for your clients, for the world at large, because you are leaving a legacy and it's rippling out right now through the choices that you are making. So whether you work in finance, whether you work in social media, whether you are a coach, a mentor, a healer, or you are in service of some way that connects to maybe being a light worker, I see that you are leaving an imprint. And this is a business savvy energy where many of you are leveling up in the corporate world, or you're taking your business to the next level. So don't procrastinate. Don't shy back. Come up with a clear plan and work with the right people, the right professionals, and execute this plan. Bring it to life if you haven't already, because you do have the Fool showing up here. And so the Fool represents taking a leap of faith, but making sure that you have a good grounded foundation. So as you start to build, you are strengthening that foundation and it's not going to crumble. Because when we move forward and we have cracks in the foundation, we may have to come back later and deal with something that we didn't solidify early on. So for example, if you are starting a business, making sure that you are using the right protocol, you're doing the right things by getting maybe a financial advisor or an accountant, you're making sure you have the licensing agreements and you are talking to people who can help you evolve in your business. And if you're not sure of something, I don't feel like you're guessing. I feel like you are figuring it out. You're going to either a King of Swords, because the King of Swords is at the bottom of the deck. You could be going to someone who is very knowledgeable, who is going to give you answers from the head. So this could be someone in the legal system, or they have a lot of a book smart as well as street smart when it comes to helping you out in some way. Now you have these Six of Wands here, and the Six of Wands is a beautiful energy of victory, acknowledgement, triumphant success. And I see that you are abundant and you're receiving the rewards here of the work that you've done, but you didn't get here all by yourself. It feels like there have been stepping stones and you are congratulating those that have helped you get to where you are at. So even if this has been a solo venture, and yes, you have made the choices and decisions to get to where you are at, I still feel like there's been teachers or mentors or guides. This could be family. There's even been people who have triggered you in some way, but that has helped you, even if you don't always realize it, because the people that trigger us or our challenges can help us become a better version of ourselves if we allow that opportunity to help us grow. And I see the Six of Wands as saying there's some sort of promotion or some sort of opportunity where you have the ability to showcase your talents. And this is not only a work of art, but it is a passion of yours. The Wands represents passion and spiritual guidance and our career. So many of you are moving into a role that feels very connected to what you have been thinking about or what you've been building or what you've been creating. And it feels like this fire is being reignited within you. And there could even be a final completion of a project that you've been working on, or if you've been writing a book, or if you have been wanting to put your courses out there, or some of you have goods or services that you want to put out online, because the King of Swords can also connect to technology. So this can be technological advances or working with social media in some way or working with the internet. And I see that you may be taking a business online. This could even be e-commerce. So you have the ability to strategize and you have the ability to do things right and be very, very successful. Now, the Seven of Pentacles is showing up here as well, Gemini. And the Seven of Pentacles is taking a look at where you are at. So it can be a pause and reflection in order for you to proceed moving forward in the highest potential. It's important for you to evaluate and take a look at your finances, take a look at your career, ask yourself, what's working? What do I want to keep with me moving into 2026? And what's no longer working or what has been distracting me from my goals? So there's this reevaluation that you are taking, kind of kind of like taking inventory of where you are at financially or with your career goals. And by taking a bit of a step back and figuring out where you are at instead of just plowing through blindlessly with that Fool energy, once you take a step back and you reevaluate, say, okay, I know where my finances are going. I've made a budget, or I know that I have this amount of money to pay on this loan, or I'm weighing up pros and cons when it comes to this income source and that income source. So it feels like you're using your brilliance in order to generate a new income source or to figure out how to get closer to a goal that you have. Because the Fool here is taking a leap of faith, but it is also about leaving behind the burdens or the distractions and dancing through those distractions, which also came up for Taurus. So some of you could be Taurian cuspers, or Taurus season could be significant for you. But I see here, Gemini, with the Fool showing up, that you are excited to open up towards new opportunities. You are excited about this new mindset that you have going on. And you also could receive an offer to work for a new company, or this could be a project that you are ready to put out into the world in some way. But I see that this is something that you do feel strongly about, but you are thinking it through and coming up with kind of like a bit of a business plan first. And you're saying, okay, now I have everything in place to launch. Now I have the right mindset, I have the right people, the right resources, or I have this interview set up, I'm ready for it, I feel confident, and it feels like there's a commitment coming in here, but you are allowing yourself to say yes to opportunity versus dwelling on the struggles or challenges of the past, or at least that's the message here for you with this Four of Cups. Because the Four of Cups tells me that there may have been a bit of boredom or distractions or a focus on maybe scarcity. Sometimes we can have a bit of a fixed mindset where we are allowing our fears to come up, or we're not feeling as inspired, or we're not feeling very motivated, and we tend to put things off or procrastinate. That is what's shifting here for you. Because the Four of Cups represents new opportunities, because you can see that there are 3 seashells in front of her, and the seashells represent the cups, and there is a seashell, a cup handed to her right behind her, coming in from the universe. So there is an unexpected opportunity or blessing. And it's important that you are open to receiving this. But when we focus on what's gone wrong, or we focus on fears, limitations, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, criticisms, or judgments, we tend to feel a bit more stuck, or we tend to resist opportunity. And it's not that it's intentional. We don't want to intentionally block these things from coming up, but sometimes that can be the old story that plays out. Sometimes that can be the voice, the inner critic. That's not even your voice. It could be the voice of an old boss, the voice of society, the voice of someone who has pressured you or manipulated you or said something that it wounded you in some way. And I see with the Four of Cups, Spirit is guiding you to focus on this plentiful mindset here with that Ace of Cups being offered. This is a new emotional and spiritual beginning. And I see for many of you, this feels connected to your heart. It feels connected to a passion of yours or something that you feel strongly about. And you're moving into the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups can also be connected to an emotional tie that you have with a job that's no longer fulfilling. And that Four of Cups is saying, okay, if you want something deeper, if you want something more meaningful, then it's time to trust. It's time to take a leap of faith and go back to school if that's something that you are curious about, or taking a class. This could be signing up for that workshop or applying for that new position. This could be starting a business. Whatever this is for you, you have the ability to not only step into leadership, but to generate generational wealth, long-term wealth here and security with this Queen of Pentacles, because the Queen of Pentacles is a very grounding, very nurturing energy. Whatever it is that she focuses on, she gives it a lot of love and a lot of attention. And what she focuses on grows. And so you are creating, again, the mother of all coins here. Whatever this new opportunity is, a new invitation, or the ability to showcase your talents, because many of you may be headhunted here, meaning someone may be coming along and they see your work because you've been putting yourself out there with a face card, because this is your reputation. This is about exposure, self-made. And look at it, even says taking a risk. And the Fool reminds you that in order to get the biscuit, you got to risk it. And I see that you may be putting yourself on the line in some way, but what do you got to lose, right? When you look back, the only regret that you're going to have is that you didn't try something out. You didn't go for that job opportunity, or you didn't start that business. Even if you, which I don't love this word, but we're going to use it, even if you fail, even if it's something that doesn't hit the peak that you may hope, which I really see that you're going to go far. Queen of Pentacles is a grounded energy that speaks of your retirement, your longevity, your legacy. But even if you were to try something out in your life, the only regrets you are going to have are the ones you didn't take, right? And I see that you got to step into that courage of yours, because you are stronger than you think. You're more capable than you realize. And you have the ability to make your mind up, get clear. This is what I want. Commit yourself to this path, and you will succeed. It feels like there is going to be a level of success here. And success looks different to each and every one of us. But what I can tell you with this Eight of Cups, people can look at the Eight of Cups as abandonment, leaving something behind that you've outgrown. Or you can look at it as the glass half full, and you can see it as, all right, I'm moving forward towards my Nine of Cups. I'm moving forward towards spiritual and emotional fulfillment, as well as financial growth and abundance as well. So the Eight is connected to the self. It is connected to courage, and it is connected to infinite possibility. So even though you have the Six of Wands, which can be accomplishments that you achieve, but other people are reveling in on this energy, meaning in order to succeed, there's other people here that are going to benefit from what you have to offer. And that's the connection energy. That's the collaboration, the teamwork. So whether you sell a product that is helpful or beneficial for someone else, maybe for their body, for their skin, for their business, maybe it's some sort of words of inspiration, whatever it is that you have to offer. And it could be a service that you provide. Even if this is in the corporate world, I see that you're good at what you do, but many of you may be pivoting. You may be changing direction altogether. Maybe you're leaving behind a career that you've been in for the last 3 decades, and you're saying, Mel, I'm ready for a change. I'm ready to go build my equestrian center and work with veterans and children and people who want to make horses a big priority in their lives, right? Maybe you want to start up that mobile pet grooming on wheels business. Whatever it is that you want to do, Gemini, I feel like you have the ability to go all the way. And I am getting a bit of Taurus energy. I think I mentioned that earlier. I hope I didn't call you Taurus on accident, Gem. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, any other placement. But I am getting a strong Taurus. So if you have Taurus placements, you may want to check that reading out as well, because I'm getting a bit of similarity, or maybe you're connecting with a Taurus, or again, Taurus season is strong for you. So let's dive in and take a look at the wisdom of the oracle. What do we have from the wisdom of the oracle? Message in a bottle. Yes, there is going to be some sort of communication. We talked about that here. You may even be born on the 15th of the month. Some of you could be seeing ones or fives. Now, ones represent new beginnings, and 15 in tarot is the devil. And so it feels like you are releasing yourself from any binds, anything that holds you back. This could be a belief system. It could be a pattern or a habit that has kept you feeling a bit stuck. And sometimes the devil can even be a form of procrastination or self-sabotage. And I feel like you're not sabotaging your future, and you're dancing through, which actually, that's what the Fool is doing, right? She's dancing there. She's kind of leaning over that cliff, and she is dancing through distractions. And I feel like that's what you are being guided to do, is to not let those distractions pull you so far away from a goal that you have that you lose sight of your self, or lose sight of that dream of yours. This is a sign. This is communication, and this could be a spontaneous oracle delivered innocently by the speaker, pointing the way to your highest good. You are on target with your purpose and your passion. You are coming into alignment with your destiny, and Spirit wants you to know that you are on the right track. Expect a call, a new opportunity, or a message from an old friend or business contact that will lead you closer to your dreams and greatest desires. Spirit has been listening to you, Gemini. Even though at times it feels like you may have felt abandoned with that Eight of Cups, or some of you may have a big fear of abandonment, or should I really leave behind this job? What's going to happen? And I see that you are being guided to move forward in that into that Nine of Cups energy. And the protection message, and I'm just going to point out the protection message for those of you that may find yourself sitting in that Four of Cups, a little bit of boredom, or not feeling as inspired, or if you felt stuck focusing on more of that fixed mindset of limitation or scarcity, which happens to the best of us. So try to cut yourself some slack. We've all been there. It's important to focus on growth, focus on abundance, but the protection message, especially with number 15, can be the devil. The message here is this: are you refusing to acknowledge the signs because you want things as you want them? Red flags are not pretty decorations for you to admire. They are warning you for a reason. If something doesn't sit right with you, trouble could be hiding in the bushes. Don't ignore the signs. Spirit always has your best interest at heart and will draw your attention to what you are overlooking. And that's why there is a sacred pause here. That's why the Seven of Coins is showing up, because many of you are being guided to pause so you can address the cracks in the foundation, because you have something bright, something beautiful, something that's going to take courage, something that is requiring you to stay open-minded with the Fool. Even if you're not quite sure what it looks like on the other side, all you have to do is take one step toward the gods. They take 10 steps towards you. When you take one step, you start to see how all of the pieces fit into place. So keep an open mindset here. Trust, have a bit of a plan, but I see that you don't have to have everything figured out. You have to be willing to say yes to this opportunity, to this inkling, to this intuitive nudge. Whatever it is that's been on your mind, I feel like it's meant for you. All right. And lastly here, let's get a few messages from your spirit animal guide. So if you can safely do so, Gemini, please close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in from your solar plexus chakra, a nice big Breath in through your nose. Hold it for the count of 3, 2, 1, and release through your mouth with a nice deep sigh. And with your eyes still closed, tune into your third eye chakra, the area between your eyebrows and your forehead region. And I want you to imagine the first animal or animals that show up in your mind's eye. Now this could be an animal that flies high in the sky or swims deep in the sea. Your animal could be wild, domesticated, mystical, or magical. This could be a pet that's crossed over the rainbow bridge, one that's visited through your dreams or crossed your path recently in the great outdoors. And if you need a moment, just pause the video and come back when you are ready. And for those of you that would like to be entered into the free monthly reading giveaway, all you need to do is drop your power animals, whether you have 1 or 5, drop them in the comment section below, Gem. I will enter you into the giveaway where I draw one winner around the 1st of the month, and I post it right back here on this channel on the community page. So be sure to hit that subscribe and bell button if you haven't already. All right. We have number 16. Some of you may be born on the 16th, the 19th, or you may be 39 years old or 57. We have Coyote Spirit, trust in divine detours. That's exactly what is happening here. You have a divine detour, but instead of it feeling like a tower, which is interesting because number 16 is the tower, it almost feels like you are dodging a bullet. It feels like more of a wheel of fortune type of change that you are initiating. You are the one that is spinning that wheel because the luck lies within your beliefs. You create your own luck here, and you are being guided to trust in the unknown, not through blind naivety, but with coming up with a clear, logical action plan of some of your goals and your dreams, and to put one foot in front of the other. And you have what it takes here. Trust in this detour because it is in your highest good. Next, you have Moth Spirit, number 39. Moth Spirit represents surrender. This is about you surrendering into this new path, this new beginning. And I see that there is going to be some sort of message that comes through. Within the next 4 to 6 weeks, you are surrendering to the divine plan. And I see that you are no longer letting fear dictate the show, or you're not letting fear get in the driver's seat of your own life, because on the leadership card, it says, you're following the crowd in fear of putting yourself out there. And oftentimes we fear putting ourselves out there because of rejection, because of, there can even be fear of failure, fear of success, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, whatever fears you have, which we all have them, but we don't have to let fear run the show. And I see that's why leadership is coming through here for you, because you are asked to surrender and not let fear overtake you, because you have something profound coming through for you. Next, you have Squirrel, and this is where it's at. Believe in yourself. Even if you have a type A personality, I know sometimes it's really difficult for me to focus. I feel like I have an attention span that is difficult. So I have to really commit myself and focus on one task at a time. Or if I am multitasking, I'll be folding clothes in one room and then I'll start putting away dishes where I'm like, Mel, stop, finish this task, right? So I have to talk to myself and say, okay, let's focus on this. Let's stay present on this. So don't be afraid to Talk to yourself as you would, a coach or an accountability partner would help you out, because you are your own best friend here, right? You are your own partner. You are the one that has to live with you. And I see that you are strengthening your belief system, and you're strengthening here your confidence by being your own biggest cheerleader. And if you struggle with that, I see that you have helpful resources or people that can help you get out of the old stories, whether it's a therapist, a coach, a partner. This could be a family member. You're not alone here. You have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Swords, and you have the Seven of Pence, which means stop and evaluate. Notice your self-talk. Notice when you find yourself in a little bit of a funk, and know that the funk is not going to last forever, but flip the script. When I catch myself, when I'm consciously aware of what's going on, especially if I feel distracted or I'm starting to get hard on myself, because we can be our own worst critic from time to time, I immediately catch myself and say, wait a second, Mel, you're awesome. Let's just finish this up. Let's dust that off and get up again. Let's try again. So you have the ability to thrive and not just survive. Believe in yourself. And lastly, we have dog spirit. Some of you may have seen your sweet pet who'd crossed over the rainbow bridge. Okay, maybe it was Waffles, maybe it was Rufus. I see here that many of you are connected to the dog spirit, because this is about loyalty. Whether you had a dog in your mind's eye or not, this represents staying loyal to your path, staying loyal to that beautiful heart of yours, not compromising your integrity, not losing yourself in the process, but redefining what stability, success, and accomplishment looks like for you. So be loyal to what you love. And what you love, number one, should be you. And everything else will start to fall into place. That is what I have for you, Gem. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this reading resonates. If so, feel free to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and share this video. And if you are interested in a personal reading, you can find that information in the description box below the video, or by visiting intuitivesoulcoach.com.